Drake. You going out sad, bruh. Kendrick did you dirty. Now you suing?
Drake is filing a petition against Universal Music Group and Spotify, accusing the companies of, quote, artificially inflating the spread of Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Senior culture reporter at ESPN's Andscape and author of It Was All a Dream, Biggie and the World That Made Him, Justin Tinsley, joins me now for more. Justin, thanks for coming on. First, I just want to get your reaction. What did you think when you first heard the claims in this petition?
Wow. Like, in the history of rap beef and all the rap beefs that I've covered in my career and all the rap beefs that I've read about over the course of the genre's entire history, from Ice Cube and NWA to obviously Tupac and Biggie, Jay-Z and Nas, so on and so forth, you've never actually seen potential litigation come into play. So when I saw this drop yesterday, I was like, wow, this is definitely a new frontier in terms of rap beef.
Now, how big of a deal is it for a star like Drake to be alleging that one of the largest music labels in the world and streaming platforms in the world were basically conspiring against him to promote this diss track?
It's a potential bombshell, because what he filed was a petition, which is not to be confused with the lawsuit. Basically, a petition is going to allow his lawyers to look at evidence or search for evidence that they alleged in that petition. Now, if they find things to their liking or find things to their interest, they could potentially file a lawsuit. But like you said, this is one of the biggest stars in the world, one of the biggest music labels in the world, one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world, and he's alleging foul play. He's alleging that they juked the numbers in terms of helping his rival, his foe out, and it in terms to hurt him. So it could potentially be a major lawsuit when we're looking at in terms of the intersections of the criminal, not criminal justice system, but law enforcement, law, courts, and hip hop, which already has a storied history to begin with.
Now, Drake's petition also accuses UMG and Spotify of paying social media influencers to promote Not Like Us. But Not Like Us also debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It broke the Hot Rap Songs chart record for the most weeks at a time. So if his allegations are true, could that all be tied into this, or does that make this case more difficult for him?
Honestly, here's the thing, Diane. I don't know if anyone would be surprised if numbers were manipulated in some sort, because you got to think about it. There's always been some sort of pay-for-play situation going on with the music industry. This is long before streaming, long before the internet came into play. But here's the thing about Not Like Us. What can't be manipulated is the cultural touchstone that it became over the spring and the summer. What can't be manipulated is how marching bands at colleges are playing this every weekend during football games, or how it's being played at wedding receptions, how it's being played at homecomings. You can't manipulate the cultural impact that this song had. And that's one thing that Drake, no matter what becomes of this potential lawsuit, he can't take away from that. This song was a major hit, and it's up for several major awards at the Grammys next year, including Song of the Year.
The same exact tactics that you utilized against Meek, Kendrick using on you, and now you want your ball back? Nah, bruh, that's out. And Wack broke it down so cold on what's going on, I had to bring out his content. Make sure you hit that like button, though. I ain't been really posting lately, so I need y'all to definitely hit that like 100 likes. Get me back in that algorithm. A quick 100, pass 100, 500. If we pass 500, 1,000 likes. Y'all know the drill, man. Clip Reacts Reloaded. I'm going to be quick on this intro because I want y'all to hear this content, because how he broke it down so cold. Let me know in the comment section, man, what y'all thinking, man.
He's taking everything he has going on and combined it and turned it into a company to grow the company. The stock stronger than UMG stock, I tell you that. Universal Music stock is down. It's going to keep going down. That Drake keep doing what he's doing. It's going to drop, but I think it's a play. I think Drake trying to drive the stock down to go buy it up and then drop the lawsuit and let it go back up. Ain't no way that going to go through with this shit. And his career.
But when we think about, I know you like money, and money is.
No, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at what you're talking about.
All right. Tell me what you think about it. I want to, because you've been in music for a long time. I want to see what you think about that.
No, I mean, great working out. What does he just send me? Bro, what he's saying, I mean, anything that's had anything to do with music, to where people are buying into it, right? it's a plus plus. I'm waiting for 3 months. I'm watching UMG. That it already dropped $1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
That drop another $5, $6. I know what the Drake is doing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Y'all
Drive
gotta
it down,
understand one.
buy it up, and then drop the lawsuit and let it go back up, right? So no, this is no different than if Spotify, Apple, and something else came together and gave it an option as an overall to buy stock into. You definitely want to with it.
No, it's very innovative and a lot of it is what it is because a lot of people are buying the S&P 500 EFTs, the semiconductor EFTs. So this is a EFT that just involves with music because music is recession proof. So no matter what happens, people are consuming music. Even in the pandemic, everything fell, but music was going up.
Wack, I do appreciate you saying that though, because you said if he did it the opposite way, it would kill his career. And that was a conversation that we were having earlier about that. Like, what would be smart enough to kill his career?
That's some real. Listen, the very same thing he talking about is what they use to make you who you are today. You
Think
came up on the Cash Money. You don't even want me to get involved in that conversation. Like everything you talking about is crazy. I'm like, man, what are you doing right? You really crying because you outstreamed them. Just the popularity vote of the song and went where it went. You still that. You ain't like your career gone. They didn't like my like you said some too. He said what he said. You got this people looking at this wife like he didn't his best friend. That's his manager, and his kid ain't his. And 5 years from now, when the kid going to school, it's gonna be a bad like me in class that's gonna say, that's why Kendrick Lamar ain't your daddy. And you crying about a calling you something because you said some that you shouldn't have said on the stage in front of the world?
now, Wack. Let me ask you another question. You think that UMG are playing a role in the in that appeal? They're probably paying for his appeal lawyer for Homeboy in the XXX case, because
No,
that shit's
no,
gonna haunt his ass.
no. And it's crazy because that that got convicted, you got to remember, them is little down there. Whoever hired them is talking to them because whoever got at him, it had. Listen, that goes down. If I tell a like for instance, what's this man got killed? Pop Smoke, right? That bag might have started at 100,000 way in Long Beach. Them go over here to Paul Rules. Hey, look, we got 75,000 on this. Paul Rules turn around, go to the Hoovers. Hey, look, we got 50,000 on this. Hoovers turn around, go over here to the East Coast. Hey, look, we got 50, all the way down to the minimum number. Man, that started 7 hands ago. So for this dude that's coming back on the appeal to know, yo, we did the move because Drake wanted done.
Even if it don't have no merit, they just using it to use the merit. Because on appeal, all you need is reasonable doubt, any thing, and you get a new trial. And when you get a new trial, they might say it, no trial. We just gonna let you plead to something less.
Yeah, there it goes. So I do know this. It's some names I was mentioning, top 5 and all these people that Drake really need to control because dude be on the internet wilding, talking about he get it all done for Drake. We do that. So he got a bunch of around him that I'm like, it ain't making sense to me. Like,
And another thing
Hey,
is,
that
my
is
bad.
wild. That is wild.
And another thing is, it might be the Michael Jackson effect. They just gave this his masters and 400 million. They might try to get his they back or try to discredit him or do something. You feel me? Because he got the best contract and his masters.
who's that?
So you know what happens in
Who's
music.
that?
What
You
happened?
talking about Mike?
Drake. Drake. No, no, no. I think they killed Mike, but I'm just saying they might a character assassinate Drake just because of the strength that he actually got the biggest bag out of music and own his masses, and you
No,
still
well, he
trying to
ain't
sue
got the
us?
biggest bag out of music. You got to remember the deal he did, Stunner did 30 years ago, right? So let's just remember that. Where he come from, that's the deal they was in. They started stunning them, did an 80-20 deal and made them folks give him $40 million back in early 1990s, right? Which was unheard of. And then
Mhm.
I think Stunner been 90-10 the last 12, 13 years,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I don't know. Right. So at the end of the day, this where Drake went wrong with his negotiation. They give you 4 million or whatever. Couple years ago, 4 years ago. Now, your number one spot at the time, I'm just gonna throw numbers out there. Say it represents a billion. Okay, billion sales number one. Okay, we're gonna give you 400 million. Right? Now our next deal, when we re-up, the bottom mean we can't give you no less than 4 million, and we won't give you no more than 600 million, right? So when Drake comes back, I recoup this. I want the 600 million. What Drake is not understanding, he like, I'm still number one. Yes, you are number one, but we gave you 400 million based upon you being number one at a billion sales. You're number one now at 500 million sales because the whole industry then dropped. So your number one position, the number that we gave you that money on is not that. So no, we know we got to give you 400 million. That's the bottom. But we ain't giving you no 600 million, and you doing half the numbers that you did when we gave you 400 million. Drake is not, and he just said, I'm still number one. Yeah, but your numbers are down as if everybody else's numbers are down. We're not going to give you another 200 million and you 500 million less than what your sales was when we gave you 400 million.
Yep.
He ain't grabbing it.
So
Yeah,
out
you
of the
number one, but you
750,
number one at a different number.
so out of the
And he
seven
ain't
plus
grabbing
million, he won't see probably but about 300, 400, maybe 500 million of it.
it. Well,
After taxes, hell yeah.
I mean, you know that whatever he worked at, however he worked at, he just the overall number is like he like I want the 600 million on my
Mm.
re-up. Nigga, no, because we gave you 400 million based upon you doing these numbers. You're doing half the numbers.
Okay,
I'm still number one. We know you're still number one, but you're number one at half the numbers. Everybody has
right.
been reduced. You know what I'm saying? The
So
motherfucker that
everybody
had your
down, so
number
he got to
4 years
reduce
ago
that.
was number 30.
Okay,
Yeah, Drake
I
Drake would
get
have
it. All
been
right.
Drake would have been better
All
off
the numbers is
doing a
down,
whole
bro.
deal with Live Nation or AEG or something.
Everybody catalog was down. If a was seeing 3 million a quarter, you down to 1,518. Everybody.
Damn.
It's like when UMG went public, like they pulled the plug out of something. Everybody. Uzi Vert did 60,000. Unheard of.
Well, they devalue the company.
Wow.
The company it's just corporate
That's
positioning.
right.
They devalue their own companies. Like he said, you go public, right? They said
Kendrick did
now that we
65,000.
public, when you public, there's a board in place in business. When there's a board in place, all the board care about is profit. They don't
Well,
give a
you
fuck about
gotta
Drake,
remember
Kendrick,
though, bro.
nobody.
And I told I said, yo, they finna fire a bunch of people. They fired 3,000 people. The
More than
3,000
that. They probably more than
3,000
that.
people
No,
cut
at the
back. It guaranteed it compensated, bro. This like overnight, everybody shit
no,
dropped.
you
So
know
it's like
why,
these
right?
niggas,
You
these
they
niggas
pulled back
juiced
like
the
$100
numbers.
million in salary. You know
It's
they're
like they
by
juiced the
laying off
numbers,
everybody.
bro. It's like
They-
they juiced the numbers to go public. And
Yep.
then once they got there, they pulled the plug, and whatever they was doing to juice these numbers is gone. Cause it's like, bro, all these people ain't just left over
They're
fucking night.
restructuring the whole music industry
That's exactly
to
what they
not
doing.
How often do
artists
they do this
and
though?
Every
almost
5 to
make
10
them.
years.
Hold
Last
on a
time I
second.
seen this, probably '03, '04.
They're
Yeah.
restructuring the whole music industry to make them look like independent artists, but they're not. They're signed, so they're not going to give them these big budgets and all these operating budgets. They're going to have to come up out the mud. They're almost going to. They
Oh yeah,
almost.
that's over with. All
It's
them days of get rich quick overnight on this mute, that's over with.
it's
Everything.
It
So
was a
the
mass
niggas been
layoff
cooking the
the
book.
year that LA Reid left Def Jam. And they was talking about, oh, Irv
Look,
Gotti gonna be CEO and this and all that.
look. When I used to get a $2 million budget for a certain artist, right? I'm in a dog fight right now to get 850 a million. Dog fight, nigga. It's a dog fight.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, what the is going on? They like, yo, Wack, it ain't there no more.
And they
What you
giving
doing?
artists 25,000 for advances right now.
Do you know how long it's gonna take them to recoup their money now? The whole music industry, the money is not there. There's no by being no physical sales, then where is the money coming from?
No, the
And
physical, look, don't get it up. The streaming was out doing the physicals.
Facts.
And I'm gonna tell you why, okay? So we would ship like 250,000 out on games release, right? Now, if that don't move, we got a buyback cost. Then we had a pack and shipment cost because we dealing with the rap and the CD and all this, right?
Yep.
And then after 2 years, where they didn't fade it out everywhere, when a person goes in, the CD ain't necessarily there because there's other music there. One thing about that streaming, that never went nowhere, never leaves. It's there. I can show you right now to where Game streams every day, 700,000 to 1 million times a day. Nigga, wasn't no way we was selling that every day on music 10, 15 years old. Mhm. The stream allows that to happen because it's worldwide. When we shipped a certain amount. Nigga, you would hear like, oh, my numbers ain't strong because they only shipped 100,000. Right? So now you don't got to worry about that. You just go to the phone and stream them. They had a thing called the champagne list. And remember y'all used to hear about illegal downloads? So a do 1 million copies the first week, but then it'd be 10 million illegal downloads. So what they did was took the illegal downloads and assigned them a DSP, and that became your streaming. It was more illegal than legal. So they like, it. Let's cross the street. We can't fight it. We can't stop these. So we're going to assign it a code, charge the people a certain amount to be able to have access to the music, and pay the artist a percentage based upon this $9.99 we collected from everybody. That's
Now,
where streaming came from.
let me ask you another question. That streaming machine that Kanye put out back then that didn't work out the way it was supposed to, but
You
the
talking about where he
idea,
released his thing on?
yeah, the idea is
The
so
stem.
No, it worked out. Kanye just got a short attention span.
no. But
That nigga
that
sold that.
idea will work if popularized with different people, because now you don't have to go to Spotify to stream. You could just stream from
But
me.
here goes the thing. What happened when you lose the machine? What happened when the machine ain't? So it's kind of like that's what it was. He sold a bunch of them, but it's like, all right, well, now I can't find my so all my music is on it. One thing about these phones, we got this called a cloud, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it still wasn't. It was cool for the fans to have it, some new but overall, he still lost money when it came to what he was doing on the streaming platforms. He
Oh, he lost
still
a whole lot of money because
Hell yeah, he lost a lot of money because when he did that, I told him, I said, look, bro, let that do that for the first 30 days for your diehard fans, and you got to put that up.
it's like
He lost a
it
lot of
works
money.
in the independent world because you make make like a following to you. But once you're such a mainstream artist, it could be it could be a curse. It ain't no gift.
And then I told yeah, you can like have it to where it's certain exclusive music that you just that nigga, man, these got so much music on their drives that
That's
they call
that's
old
what
and
I
nobody
want
never
you
heard.
to tell people, that the music. Can you explain the music,
R. Kelly got 38,000 unreleased songs nobody never
that the
heard.
music that they listening to is
Right now,
new?
Game got about 4,500 unreleased songs. He's done that. Record 300 songs per project. He only 12 to 15 gonna make it. Nobody never heard these got some good music. It's
And tell
crazy.
them that the music that they listening to is not new. Some of this is like a year, 2 years old.
Yeah, a lot of this be on there. A&R's coming in. They just get to they listen to what they doing and they get to putting them headphones on and going through their drives. They be like, yo, this the one. Man, I did that 18 months ago. Country Grammar was 18 months old before the world was introduced to it. It was already out floating.
That's the truth. That's the
Big Boy
truth. It's a
Diamond.
lot of
Is
songs that sound
most
like that.
hot music. Most of this hot music, it because we in the studio all night long making like there's a lot of Young Dolph songs that y'all never heard that he did with everybody.
But to them, it's old because they did it 6 months ago, but the world ain't heard it.
Well,
Tatiana. When I signed Blueface in July 2018, I put the in the studio in November because I was working on two other artists. He in the studio working. I said, yo, man, where your other music? I go to going through his drive. I said, yo, this the one. He like, man, I released that back in March, April. It was already out. I said, I don't give a you didn't release it the way I'm gonna release it. In 45 days, that was gone. Out of here. I put YG on one, put Cardi B on another one. turned around, sent that to Cold Bennett and Lyrical Lemonade and put them both on the same one, and it was gone. It was old music, but it was regional. The world hadn't heard it. But to them, it's old because, you know, they put it out on SoundCloud or put it out. I said, man, it ain't nothing but 300 people coming to your page.
Who? Let me ask you a question. If you okay, you signed.
That's facts.
Okay, you signed, right? And you got all
Yep.
this music. Who does the music belong to? Does it belong to the person that signed you, or does it belong to you, or it depends when you
Well,
release it?
see now, this is where the music got relaxed at. Back in the day, whenever an artist got booked for studio time, the label booked the studio time. The label sent their A&R, and the A&R would leave with the drive or the
Whoever
DAT
pays the
or the
recording
reel.
owns the music.
Yeah, so now this is where the artist is getting away. All that music is they because the label ain't gonna be able to tell them when they did it. Ain't nobody in there. The label saying just turn in the album. Before, the label would have a rep in there and would leave with whatever happened in the studio that day. So once the label had it, they owned it. They got the stems. Now, the artist and his engineer got it on the drive.
That's some wild. That's some
Yeah,
wild.
that didn't
So
got
let me.
lack.
I'm just picking your brain real quick. Let me ask you another question. Would you think that those video songs that R. Kelly did with Mr. Biggs and all that, would you think it'll ever be like 50 did it, like the video of series of songs type, like audio visual? Would they ever put
Somebody need
a
to do
visual
it.
back?
If somebody gets smart enough to do it.
I,
I
they need
mean,
to
you
do
know,
that shit.
Drake
That
could
shit
do it.
is big right there.
Meek could do it. Drake could do it. I think French Montana could do it. Cause to follow it. I mean, I think Young Thug could do it. And Young Thug, I'm gonna tell you this, he playing. Soon as Ray J announced he with J Lo, they gonna forget he ever went to jail. I mean, that ain't real. I'm just saying the next situation occur in the music industry, right? You playing. Like if you think they gonna wait around, your fire will go to out. He tripping. He should have been gave the fans something.
A long time ago. Like what the
I don't know
what's
what this.
happened? You got to crack it open and keep it open.
Soon as something happened, they gonna forget all about him.
But I was thinking about that audio visual and it will work with certain artists, but they have to push it almost like
It'll definitely
If
work
you
now.
still here though, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get this video to 100 likes. If we pass 100, 500. If we pass 500, 1,000 likes. Appreciate everybody hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. Recently just hit 10K, so appreciate y'all on that. Let me know in the comment section what y'all thinking. At the end of the day though, Drake, I understand you trying to sue because it's just the whole bot system is corrupted and what's going on, but you can't try to push that line after you take the L and after Kendrick then did you crazy, got you looking crazy out here in these YouTube streets. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, though, man. To the next one, another one. No.